What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jake Shavink here, and it's only been 3 weeks, but Xavier McKinney has made a massive difference for this Green Bay Packers defense, not only picking off 3 passes, but being a factor no matter where he's aligned and no matter what he is being asked to do. So we're going to dive into the film, take a quick look at some of what McKinney has done to this point, and really why he is a player that Green Bay hasn't had in some time. So let's dive into the film. All right, as we dive into the McKinney film, of course, we're going to start with the 3 interceptions. Have to do it, right? And when you look at this first one against Philly, of course, we're in a split field look. It's just a 3-man concept. They're running back, tight end in there as extra protection for Hurts on a big play on the field. And Hurts, when he sees this, of course, split field, what am I thinking? I'm going to, throw this seam route to Devontae Smith. Of course, probably doesn't assume Quay Walker's going to run with him perfectly, but McKinney, eyes on the play, eyes on Hurts. Where's he going with the football? And just look how much space he can cover in such a short time to make an interception like that happen. Like, that is instincts plus sufficient speed and range to make a play of that caliber. The Indy pick obviously is an overthrow, right? And Richardson lets this go with pressure in his face, and that's probably why. But you can see McKinney is ready to drive on the crosser. He will be there to make a play, but of course he quickly tracks the football well and says, yeah, I don't need to move much for this one. I'll take that interception instead of potentially driving on, the dig route to make a pass breakup happen. And then against Tennessee, of course, another single high look where if you watch Levis here, he's watching down here. So McKinney has a great grasp on, okay, Levis has his eyes down here initially. This is probably where we want to go. We got 3 over here for 2. Right, and these 2 guys are going to sprint past this guy, so it's going to be a better 3 for 2 this direction as well. But you'll see, if it wasn't very clear on here, watch Levis, shoulder shrug. If you saw that little shoulder shrug, Drew Brees does that, right? It's to kind of get corners to either get on the flat-footed or just kind of bite on something short to intermediate to potentially throw the shot play, and that's what he's trying to do. And when he lets this go, McKinney's already moving that direction. And Jair's already kind of on top of things here in terms of his technique. But, again, McKinney just tracks the ball so well and elevates to make sure you can make a play at the catch point. Really, really impressive play there. It all starts with eyes, reading out the concept, reading the quarterback. All of that contributes. Now, this is a really nice design by Kellen Moore. You motion Devontae Smith over. Now you're in a position where you have McDuffie on A.J. Brown. That's a matchup they like, for sure, and Hurts stares this down. So McKinney, seeing Hurts is staring this down, he knows he's ready to attack. And once Hurts lets this go, a little bit drifted further down the field, it allows McKinney to get in and make a play. Now, A.J. Brown did kind of drop this, but even if Brown goes up to secure the football, McKinney is there with great timing at the catch point to probably make that play either way. Now, here against Philly is a great one here. Essentially, what you're going to see is off the snap, it looks like 4 vertical routes. And Smith is going to run one. A.J. Brown's going to run this kind of deep hitch, and then you're going to have the 2 tight ends kind of almost running out routes or kind of sit routes further down the field. Basic horizontal stretch here. McKinney does a really nice job recovering initially off the snap because Stokes gets beat here. And Hurts is looking this direction. He wants to hit one of these tight ends on this play, right? Gets to the top of the drop. And because McKinney has, again, dominant technique right here on one tight end and eyes on the other tight end, it's not great spacing on the concept, to be perfectly frank, on this one. But McKinney is in the position to basically take both of these routes away on Hurts' initial read here. And that forces Hurts into scramble mode and into a throwaway. So excellent coverage there by McKinney. Now, we know Gary gets the sack here on Hurts, but really nice job of reading out the number 3, the tight end in this concept, where he's going to pass behind the linebackers, and McKinney is ready to sort of rob this. Maybe this is that tricks call that we looked at, but probably not because he's not aligned deep. But he is ready to take away this play to Dallas Goedert. And obviously Gary gets there first, but there was nothing there. And because McKinney was in the right position to make a potential play, to take away anything in the passing game, it probably results in that either way. And here, another one where McKinney's gaining depth, and Devonta Smith does a good job pressuring vertically on this to run this deep in. But McKinney does a great job opening up and then quick transition downhill to drive on that route. Nowhere to go there for Hurts, and he has to get into scramble mode. That's a really, really good recovery by McKinney against a really good wide receiver. And here what you're going to get from McKinney is essentially, again, almost taking away multiple options. We'll let this run out. McKinney's dropping here into the middle of the field. Initially, Anthony Richardson peeks at Alec Pierce running this go route. Now, they've got a couple guys that can handle this in coverage, but McKinney has his eyes there as well. And I'm sure Richardson might see that and goes, okay, I need to move off that route. The problem is McKinney has perfect depth for the in route to Pittman. So Richardson tries to come off of Pierce in the progression. And because he's in such a good spot in terms of depth and in terms of recognition skills and coverage to kind of take these away, which we've already seen the Colts like to do, perfect position, and then we've got a sack for the defense. So the coverage is dictating a lot for Green Bay and is right now kind of leading to some extra pressure and the ability to get home for a sack. Now here, McKinney is aligned near the line of scrimmage, and I think Richardson probably thinks, okay, the way McKinney's running off the snap and the way, he's going to run with this receiver here, and I think this is Kylan Granson, technically a tight end, whatever, but he's going to run here, but instead he kind of peels off deeper to the middle of the field, and you can see Richardson ready to throw. But because Walker's in a position for this dig route and McKinney's in a position to take away the crosser, Richardson can't throw anything. And he has to scramble, and he eventually finds Pittman on a scramble drill. But McKinney, again, doing a great job of taking things away over the middle of the field and deep down the field. Now, fourth down, play action, crosser here, just trying to flood one side of the field on this rollout. Levis might have been able to throw this, but McKinney in a great position, staying with this player in man coverage to force Levis to, I guess, panic and kind of be in a position where he tries to run, which that's fine. Here again, single high coverage. Where would Levis want to go? Right? You got 3 for 2 over here. He wants to take the shot play. McKinney sees it. He's reading the eyes of the quarterback here, and he's ready. He's in great position. And in fact, potentially another interception if Levis didn't sail this too far. And now, of course, McKinney, we talked about coverage a lot. We talked about him being in great position to make plays, but he still does all of the other stuff that you need out of a safety, right? Whether you're playing strong safety near the line of scrimmage or not, make tackles against, talented running backs, be able to be that last line of defense as a tackler as well, right? When a couple guys miss the tackle there on Devonta Smith, McKinney is there to clean it up, make sure that nobody's scoring on a play like that. Drop down into the box to play and help against the run for this defense. He does a great job of that. We saw that in New York as well. And again, the ability to close on routes over the middle of the field, close on any route in general, and limit things after the catch like he does there against DeAndre Hopkins. So Xavier McKinney already making an impact. He already looks like the most talented safety Green Bay has had since Nick Collins, the most talented maybe defensive back they've had since Charles Woodson, right? He is making that level of impact, and he is the difference maker that this back end needs right now, especially with guys like Jair and Carrington Valentine dealing with injuries. And McKinney's going to have to, yet again on Sunday against the Vikings and in future games against talented teams, be an anchor back there for the secondary, and I expect him to do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Xavier McKinney. If you did, throw a like on there, subscribe if you're new. I will catch you guys very, very soon. Farewell.